I want to talk to you today a little bit about EVO and the delivery, insertion, and removal of that particular device. Now, EVO is kind of neat because it's made of this MG6 technology material, and it's got a little bit of flexibility. I wouldn't describe it as a lot, but I would describe it just enough to give it a little bit of forgiveness, a little bit more comfort, and 10 times more durability and strength than the predicate kinds of devices. The devices themselves don't usually need to be wetted like I normally do for the polymethyl methacrylate platforms. You could wet this device before you put it in, but it's not as critical. And then what I'll do with the patients is I'll have them try in an arch like this, and they'll insert it. And interestingly, they can usually still talk with it. Even though it's kind of a mouthful of acrylic, and in this case, MG6 technology, they can still enunciate fairly well. Now, I don't usually have them try the lower device in at the same time, so I'll ask them to take the upper device out. With traditional polymethyl methacrylate devices, we'll have them pull one side down, then the other. Sort of like Tupperware. You don't pull down both sides at the same time. It becomes very difficult to remove. So they pry it off as one side and then the other. But in the case of this material, because of its flexibility, we actually grab it in the front like this and pull it out like that. Really neat. Then we'll have them try in the lower arch the same way they tried in the upper arch. They'll put that in place the same way. And again, don't remove it from the sides, but instead remove it from the front. I'll take the thumbnail and the end of my finger, and I'll push straight up in the anterior region, and that'll remove the arch rather nicely. Beautiful. Now, that's not how I tell the patient to actually put them in. That's how I try in each individual arch. 3 different upper arches with EVO, 2 different lower arches. But when I'm ready for that patient to actually wear these arches, I put them together like this, and I remind that patient that they should always put these arches in and take them out as a sandwich. And what I mean by that is they hold them together like this, they bring them to their mouth and put them in, and then close into them like that. Once the patient has closed into those arches like that, they'll squeeze the place, and they'll have both the upper and the lower in. It's really the easiest way to insert those devices so that they don't get tripped up over those vertical posts. Same thing with removal. You can remove the upper or the lower first, but I usually remove the lower first because its post is in front of the upper. Once I have the lower removed, pull down in the front and remove the upper. Pretty easy to deliver, insert, put them in as a sandwich, and remove them from the front. That's a little different with EVO than it is with the polymethyl methacrylate milled platforms.